Do. All right, we are live, ladies and germs. Testing a couple things. First off, notice the quality of the picture is a lot better than before. Where did I put it? Where did I put it? This was my old webcam. It's an own. It was basically a cheap ass microphone, or not microphone, but webcam. And the picture quality, especially on low light, really sucked dick. So I've gotten a new one. That's what it looks like. It's a big motherfucker. But as you can see, high quality video. It's supposed to be 1080p, 30 frames a second. And apparently it works pretty damn good in low light conditions. So yay, I got a high quality video camera now. One thing I'm also testing is the microphone that's built in. And apparently it's also a speaker too, because this is actually supposed to be a conferencing camera. It's a Norum C20 all-in-one conferencing camera. And this is what the box came in, or what the box it came in. So there's that. 100-degree wide-angle camera, FHD video call, AI noise suppression, echo cancellation, and plug and play. Ultra wide angle. So yeah, pretty good. Let me check. See. Does sound it does the microphone does sound like it has a bit of bass to it. Let me see if I can fix that a little bit. So echo canceling speakerphone, audio filters. Open volume mixer. No, that's not what I wanted. Sound settings. Choose your input device. Echo canceling speakerphone. Manage sound devices. Yeah, it doesn't seem like there's anything I can do with it right now, but whatever. Maybe turning it down a little bit will help. Because I checked it on my headphones and it does seem to be a bit loud. Marley Maton used to say, it's a bit loud. But, yeah, we'll give it a shot and see what happens. But anyway, today, we're going to be doing 3 race reviews today. And we're going to be talking all about that here in a second. So let's go ahead and get into today's first episode of The Fuel. Hope you grabbed your popcorn because it's going to be a long freaking day. Hey, what's happening, ladies and germs? This is the PackerMan, and welcome to this first edition of The Fuel here today on this Monday, February 23rd, 2026. Does sound a lot better? Okay, well, there we go. The important thing is I wanted to have better video quality, because not only am I going to be using the webcam for these live streams for these race reviews, but I also want to get back into doing stuff like Tornado Tales and other shows that use the webcam, and I want to have a high quality webcam so that way it does. I mean, if you watch the last race review that I did, like for the Daytona race reviews when I was using the old camera, it was extremely choppy, didn't look very good at all, and it basically just looked like shit. And that's not what I want with my video quality. So, God bless my mother, because, she was the one who actually got me this camera. She actually found it on Whatnot. It's about a $170 camera. She got it for $30. And hopefully she gets well soon. She's been under the weather as of late, and I think it was a week or two ago that she actually fell off her porch and broke her ankle. So yeah, that was fun to get that phone call right before I went into work that day. So yeah, thankfully it was a clean break, so it won't require surgery, which is good. I mean, the medical maladies that my parents have been going through the last year or so has just been crazy. I mean, she just got over having a minor stroke. My stepfather had to have surgery for a blockage in his carotid artery, and he also had to have recently gel put in his knee because he also screwed up his knee as well, while my mother was having the minor stroke episode. So she's had to have gel put in his knee 3 different times, so that way he doesn't have to get knee replacement surgery. So yeah, it's been kind of crazy. But I wanted to do this last night after the Cup race. I was actually going to do, yeah, that's rough. It is rough. But, you know, it is what it is. They will survive. I mean, it's not the first time they've had to go through this kind of shit, but, you know, it is what it is. But anyway, I was wondering why that was popping up. My other microphone is being a piece of junk. Hopefully I won't need it anymore now that I got this one. Although this has a built-in speaker too, kind of like this microphone does. Although with this one, I can actually turn it off, because it actually has little buttons on the top that allow me to adjust the volume and shit, which is pretty cool. But, I mean, apparently if the microphone on here is working, then maybe I won't need this anymore. Or at least keep this as a backup just in case. Because I've had this microphone for years now. So, anyway. Now that we've gotten all that out of the way, we're 13 minutes into this and we haven't even gotten to the review itself yet. But just wanted to kind of clarify all that shit, and I also wanted to show off the new camera. And I like it. I like the quality of the picture. It's a lot better than before, I'll tell you that much. So, I wanted to do this yesterday after the Cup race, and I was actually going to do all 3 reviews in one video, but truth be told, I was exhausted after yesterday, because the previous night I only got a couple hours of sleep. I actually woke up at around 2 o'clock and I just could not get back to sleep. And I had to go into work at 7, so that's nice. So I just stayed up and worked on some videos. Well, a video, but it was kind of one of the ones that would have been a pain in the ass to get over, so I finally got that done. One thing I am noticing is it does take a second to register, so if it does seem like it's out of sync, oh well, it is what it is. But yeah, after the Cup race yesterday, I was just exhausted, so I just went to bed really early and just slept until I had to get up this morning. And I said, you know what, I'll just do all 3 race reviews separate. It's better that way anyways, instead of trying to do everything at once, because this week there's a lot to talk about. A hell of a lot to talk about. So, trucks at Atlanta. What did I think of this race? A lot of people thought it was a damn good race. I'm kind of one of them. I don't think it was the best race of the weekend, I'll tell you that much. I definitely think it was the weakest of all 3. It was the cleanest of all 3, I'll tell you that much. But, yeah, I thought it was a pretty solid race. Some good racing. Too much single file bullshit. I know there was somebody that I know from my racing league was like, well, I mean, they were single file for 20 laps per stage, and I get it because you want to save equipment. Yeah, the problem is 20 laps. I mean, that's basically half of the first and second stage. So, I mean, I understand why they do it. It just does not make for a good viewing experience. it's just really boring. And when they started doing that, I just started doom scrolling on X. You know, it was just boring, you know. But that's not really the main topic of focus from this race. It wasn't the good racing. It wasn't Kyle Busch getting his 9th win in the Truck Series at Atlanta. It wasn't any of that. It was all about this controversy of the race being shorted by 9 fucking laps. Hence the title of this episode, Hoes Mad Over 9 Laps. Because quite a few people, especially those that are pretty prominent on X in the NASCAR community, were bitching up a storm over the fact that this race got shorted by 9 laps because it was going to encroach into the O'Reilly Series TV window. And people were jumping down Jeff Gluck's neck over it because he was like, I mean, why are people getting mad over 9 laps? Exactly. And then people were jumping all over him for it, and it's just like, you know, some of these people are just fucking stupid, you know? And, you know, I posted this on X over the whole situation, and let me pull it up real quick, because I'm going to read it verbatim, because it pretty much, you know, it gives you my feelings on the whole situation. And I said, people are literally complaining about the truck race being shortened by 9 laps. If there was a large chunk of the race shortened, then I'd understand. And let me dive into that a little bit. Now, the reason why the race was shortened, or had the possibility of being shortened, was because there was inclement weather in the area. Go figure. As a result, Cup qualifying was canceled, and there was a concern that the Truck Series might not be able to start on time, and there was also worries that the O'Reilly Series race might not be able to start either, in which case we would have had a triple header Sunday. Considering I didn't get much sleep that Sunday, thank God that didn't happen. But turned out not to be the case. The rain got out of the area pretty quickly. They dried the track, but there was some weepers in the turns that was being persistent, so that delayed the start of the race a little bit longer. And they made the determination before the race began, by the way, that if the time got to 4:20 p.m. Eastern, then once it reached that point, then the next time around they'll get 2 to go, and then the white flag, and then that'll be it. No overtimes, none of that stuff. Now, if a significant portion of this race was taken out because of inclement weather or anything of that nature, then okay, I would understand being upset. Like if a large majority of stage 3 was completely cut out of the race due to time constraints, then okay, I would understand getting mad about that. Complaining about 9 laps, though, I mean, let's be completely honest here. This is a 208-mile race. I mean, I don't know why they added in the extra 8 miles. So, I don't know. There were quite a bit of winter storms the last couple days. Yeah, I mean, New York's getting smacked by a blizzard right now. So, because of the bomb cyclone that has dropped the fucking avalanche on the Northeast. So, and we got some snow yesterday and today, which is weird considering that we were in the 60s just a couple days ago. Fucking bipolar weather, I swear. Anyway. So, I mean, realistically, this should have been just a 200-mile race anyway. So complaining about missing 9 laps is just stupid shit. And it honestly makes me think that this fan base just likes to complain just for the sake of it. And all I got to say to that is if that's the case, then y'all need to shut the fuck up. Seriously. I mean, you all honestly wonder why this fan base gets the flack that it does. I mean, I said in a review years ago, I am done defending this fan base, even if they are in the right, because they don't deserve shit. Because all they know how to do is fucking complain, regardless of the situation. Now, I will be the first one to admit, I am one of NASCAR's biggest critics. Not because it's fun to shit all over them. It's just because it's fun to, you know, complain about every single thing, this, that, and the other. No. I'm one of their biggest critics because I want them to do well. I remember being a fan in the 2000s. And the racing during that time was appointment television, was what it was. Every single race was exciting to watch, it felt like. I mean, did you have your duds here and there? Yeah. That'll happen from time to time. But every single week was appointment television. And I think NASCAR can get back to that. They just gotta be willing to do so. Leadership has gotta be willing to do so. Now granted, this offseason, they're taking steps in the right direction. They finally got rid of the playoffs. Hallelujah. They're going back to the chase. Okay, I can live with that. They finally added a bunch of points for the winner. 15 extra points to the winner. Hell yeah. That's what we wanted all those years ago before the chase was even a concept. That's all we wanted was more points to the winner. Make wins important. Not the end all be all, because that's way too far over the cliff. Just enough to make them important. Feel important. And you've seen a difference in the racing lately. Just look at all three races from this weekend. It felt like there was a sense of urgency to try to get championship points. That's something that you just didn't see with the playoffs, because with the playoffs, it was all about the win. It was all about the win. It was all about the win. But now it's about the championship points, and that means something again. I mean, just look at Kyle Busch from Daytona. He decided he wanted to hang back, and not because he knew the wreck was going to happen. Because look at like the last 10 years of Daytona 500s. Every single Daytona 500, it feels like in the last 10 years, there's been a huge wreck on the last lap. And what did he do? He backed completely out of it and actually ended up with a 15th place finish, which he probably wouldn't have had if he was up in that pack trying to battle for no reason. Think about that. So while there are some things that you can criticize NASCAR over, and I have, this is not fucking one of them. Alright? Everybody knew ahead of time what the stopping point was going to be. And it's even detailed in the goddamn rule that they have in the rule book. I think it's called the adverse conditions rule. I think they added that in after what happened at the Chicago street course race for the Xfinity Series a couple years ago. They had to add that in because, you know, street course racing is a temporary circuit. If it was a permanent course, then that would be a different story. But because it was a street course, they had to adjust things a little bit. So everybody knew ahead of time what the stopping point was going to be, but yet people were still bitching up a storm like, oh, why would I pay money to only watch half a race and I did. I mean, most of you don't go to the fucking truck series anyway. So why are you bitching about it? And then I continued on. And when you have users on here like Coop Designs and Alex the Admiral bitching about missing out on 9 lousy fucking laps and jumping down Gluck's throat, they need to be focusing their anger at the TV networks, not at Gluck and not at NASCAR. That's the next part of my argument. Why? I mean, if people are going to be upset no matter what, That's just the nature of the beast. But here's the thing. You need to focus your frustration at the right people. Throwing your frustration at Jeff Gluck and at NASCAR is misguided. Now, could NASCAR have done some things differently, like, oh, I don't know, cut out the cautions for the stage breaks? Absolutely. Could they have shortened the number of fucking laps that they run under those stage break cautions, which is usually 7 to 8 laps for no reason whatsoever? Absolutely. Those are things that need to be improved. But getting pissed at NASCAR for having to shorten the race because of time constraints is fucking misguided bullshit. You want to be frustrated at somebody? Be frustrated at the television networks. They're the ones that hold the fucking check. Okay? And here's the thing. The Truck Series and the O'Reilly Series, they are exclusively on different networks. Completely different networks that are not affiliated with each other whatsoever. Truck Series is exclusively on FS1. The O'Reilly Series is exclusively on the CW. And they have exclusive contracts with each of those networks. So they can't be encroaching upon one another. Could they have negotiated and say, hey, can we have a few extra minutes to get this race done? Because here's the thing. This race only had one caution for incident. And if that caution does not happen, this race gets in all the way. We get to the scheduled distance for this race, and this would not be an issue whatsoever. This would not be a talking point. But you want to get mad at somebody? Get mad at the CW. Because it was their time frame that was going to be encroached on. And they probably didn't want to budge on it. NASCAR, in all likelihood, they wanted to get this whole race in. But what can they do? They have contracts that they have to fulfill. So getting mad at NASCAR over this is fucking stupid. And besides, getting mad over 9 lousy laps, half of which probably shouldn't have even been in the race anyway, is just fucking retard sauce. Get over yourselves. It's not that big a deal. And we still got a good clean finish with good clean racing for the win. What more do you fucking want? This is why nobody should take this fan base seriously anymore. I sure as fuck don't. I stopped doing that a long time ago. Because this fan base just doesn't know what the fuck they want, and they complain just for the sake of it, which is about the dumbest fucking thing. I mean, do I criticize NASCAR quite a bit? Absolutely, but they give me a reason to. Excuse me. A lot of the shit that I criticize them for is warranted. Okay, I don't go shitting on NASCAR just for the fucking sake of it. Is there some things that we can criticize them for, like the stage breaks and having too long of a fucking stage break caution, 7, 8 laps for no reason? Absolutely. But this is not fucking one of them, people. It's not. I mean, you're making a mountain out of an anthill. I mean, seriously. Get the fuck over it. Fucking ridiculous. Then I said, everybody knew before the damn race began what the cutoff point was. Could NASCAR have done away with the stage yellows, or at the very least shorten the yellow laps to have a better chance of getting the race in? Sure. But getting mad over 9 laps is ridiculously stupid. There are a lot of things to get mad at NASCAR about. This is not fucking one of them. There you go. So yeah. There's the big scoop. Anyway. Now that we got that out of the way, talk about the race itself. the Freight Racing 208 at Echo Park Speedway. So, there were a couple of trucks that had to go to the rear. Grant Enfinger for a splitter violation. Gio Ruggiero, Tyler Ankrum, Sutton, I don't remember his first name at the moment. Butterbean Queen, that's a fucking nickname. They had to go to the rear of the field for adjustments. And of course the start was delayed a bit due to the rain, which we talked about. End time for the trucks was 4:20 p.m. Like I said, it was communicated before the start of the race. So I don't know what to tell you. So, first two stages were 40 laps each, with the third stage being 55 laps for a total of 135 laps. So, Jake Garcia starts from the pole position. Ben Rhodes, who is beside him, leads lap 1. Was side by side with Garcia for the race lead. Of course, teammates at Thor Sport. The outside lane, a lot of times, seemed to be the dominant lane, especially on restarts. It doesn't mean that the inside move was completely dead, because you could do slingshot passes, especially in O'Reilly and Cup. Trucks, it seemed to be a little bit harder to do because there was a lot of single file and nobody seemed to want to go anywhere, which was annoying. Adam Andretti. For those of you that don't know, he is the son of Aldo Andretti, who is the brother of the late John Andretti. So, yeah. And Marco Andretti is his brother, I believe. Either brother or cousin, something like that. So he was racing in this race. He's 46 years old. That kind of surprised me, but he got loose, but hung on to it. He is a bit of a wheelman because he's won in a lot of different vehicles. Christian Eckes has to go to the garage after just 4 laps. Broken drive shaft. Ain't that about the worst feeling in the world? You're finally getting ready to go race, ready to get going, and boom, a couple laps in, you're out of the race due to a fucking drive shaft. Yeah, I bet steam was coming out of his ears. Cole Butcher, a former Winchester 400 winner. You want to talk about a rough and tumble late model race to win. That's one of them, the Winchester 400. Because the Winchester Speedway is a half-mile short track, and it is treacherous as hell. High banked, bumpy as fuck. Yeah. You win that race, you must be pretty damn good. So he's in this race. He tries to go for the lead, but gets hung out and drops completely out of the top 10 because the choo-choo train started forming on the high side. The Andrettis are still racing today. Cool, yep. And Adam Andretti was racing in this event. I saw the name Andretti and I'm like, is Marco racing in this? Because I know he did a truck race or two, I believe. No, it was Adam Andretti. I was like, oh, okay. And then, speaking of which, he got completely sideways in 3 and 4. Somehow saved it, and there was no caution. So, they kind of kept that from Daytona, where they weren't going to throw it for single car slideways, slide outs. Enfinger has to go to pit road with a flat left front tire. Flat tires seem to be the theme of this weekend between all 3 series. Corey Heim, up to 4th after starting 14th. He's in a part-time ride this year. He has no full-time ride in any of the 3 series. What the fuck? And then FS1 goes to a full-screen commercial with just a few laps left in stage 1. I'm just like, what the fuck? FS1 sucks. It really does. So Rhodes, Majeski, and Busch have broken away from the pack at this point. Still single file. Busch goes for second among a bunch of lap trucks, so they got to the back of the pack. Tanner Gray goes for a slide. Again, no caution. And then Heim, Friesen, and Hocevar have recaught the front three, so things start to heat up finally at the end of the stage. And we finally get our first pure lead change on lap 36 when Kyle Busch takes the lead. But then Rhodes takes it back the lap after, and then they start swapping it back and forth. Yeah, Corey Hine getting up there, Kyle Busch. Got a monster run on the inside with help from Hocevar underneath of Hine. But then Hine gets it back around him and actually wins stage number 1. The first stage was a very slow burn, but it finally picked up in the final 5 laps. That was kind of the theme of all 3 stages. It started out really slow, and then it finally picked up at the end. You know, which is fine, but it's like, can you give us something that during the beginning portion of the stage that's kind of interesting? I think that's the advantage that the O'Reilly series had over the Truck series this weekend. Is the O'Reilly series, they were just going at it from the word go. So, stage 2. Everyone comes in for pit stops under the stage break. Rhodes takes just 2 tires, so he leads the start of stage 2. Rhodes was going back and forth, you know, working both sides of the street, kind of trying to keep both lanes behind him. Busch finds himself in the sucker hole. Choo Choo Train is back. Yay. Not much happened in this stage at all. Honeycutt, who's now in the 11 truck, so that's a lot of fucking, that's a big seat to fill, you know, because that's the same truck that Hine took to a dozen wins last year and the championship, so good luck, Caden, you're gonna need it. But Honeycutt scrapes the wall, and so does Majeski, and the 88 suffers a cut tire in the process, and Honeycutt eventually has to go to pit road for the same issue. Rhodes, leading, has led more laps in this race than he did all last year. Shows you how shitty his 2025 campaign was. But then, he runs out of fuel 2 laps before the end of the stage. Evidently, they tried to short fill it, but problem is you burn a lot more fuel when you're leading, and he ended up running out of gas. Whoopsie! So that gave Stuart Friesen, a guy coming back from a very serious accident the year before in a dirt late model race, where he suffered leg and pelvic and back issues and back injuries, kept them out of the truck for the rest of last year. So he's making a comeback this year, and he held off Stenhouse and Hocevar to win stage number 2. Good finish to an otherwise boring stage. I mean, stage 2 was easily the worst stage of this race, because literally nothing happened. Stage 3, 55 laps, although it was more like 46. You know, everyone comes in for service. Friesen and Heim take just 2 tires. Chandler Smith has to go to the rear of the field for a safety violation. Of course, he was the winner from Daytona. Friesen leads the start of stage 3. Clock is ticking. Kyle Busch gets the lead on lap 89. Got pushed to the lead with help from teammate Hocevar. We get the Choo Choo Train once again, and at the rate that they were completing laps, they would have gotten this race in on time. They would have gotten all 135 laps in. But we got our one and only caution on lap 101, and it was Dawson Sutton, I remember, I got it written down here, hard into the wall after clipping the apron trying to avoid Cole Butcher going into the wall off of turn 4, and that causes the one and only yellow of the day. So now it was the race against the clock. So we have a restart on lap 108 with Busch as the leader. The outside lane prevails once again. Friesen tries to pull even with Busch on the inside lane, and then John Hunter Nemechek makes his first appearance in the top 5. And at 20 laps to go, the clock is at 3.5 minutes. And they were running about 30 seconds a lap. And once it gets to, it's only after it gets to 4:20 is when we go to 2 to go. So there's that. But the action started to pick up. Friesen was still on Busch's inside and finally gets out to the lead on lap 118 for a 7th pure lead change. Kyle Busch actually got kicked back to 4th, and it's like, uh-oh, he might be in trouble here. But then he had a huge run to retake the lead on the inside, and I'm just like, with no help, by the way, and I was just like, holy shit. And there was lots of shuffling in the top 5, and then we finally come to the time limit and they get the white flag, and Kyle Busch is actually able to hold everybody at bay, mostly thanks to his teammate Carson Hocevar. He was a loyal teammate, and he holds everyone off to win the Freight Racing 208 at Echo Park Speedway, his 9th truck win at Atlanta. And then Busch and Hocevar kind of do dual burnouts, which I thought was funny. Got the 777 there. You got the 7 of Kyle Busch and the 77 of Hocevar. So there you go. Oh, and Lane Riggs had a flat tire right at the finish, and his tire carcass kind of flew out into the front of everybody like a goddamn shell from Mario Kart. So that was pretty funny. At least he made it to the finish, though, so there's that. But, yeah, Kyle Busch kind of needed this win because it's been a while since he's been to victory lane. The truck race, yeah, but, you know, he kind of needed this one. Excuse me. So, statistics. So, we only had 14 overall lead changes in this race, 8 of them pure. Only one caution, though, and because of the time limit, there weren't going to be any overtimes, so that's a plus. There was 1,995 green flag passes, which comes out to 18.6 per lap on average, which seems kind of low for a super speedway race. Let me check something on here. I want to check because I haven't gotten it down yet. Check the O'Reilly's race and see what number is for them. I would imagine it's a little bigger. Yeah, a little bit bigger. Of course, we'll be doing that review here in just a little bit. And then, what about this one? Oh yeah, that's a lot bigger. Yeah, the truck race in terms of passing and all that stuff, definitely the weakest of this weekend for sure. But that's not to say that it was a bad race at all. It actually wasn't. I mean, there was a lot of single file shit. Yeah, that's annoying and pretty boring. But overall, it was a clean race. We had just the one caution. You know, had a good clean finish. You know, even though people got mad over 9 laps being cut, well, whoop de fucking do. I mean, we still got a pretty good finish to the race, so who cares? All right, anyway. Race results. Kyle Busch, of course, the winner. Carson Hocevar in second. Neither of those guys are running for points in the trucks, hence why it has a 0 next to in their points column, because they're obviously running full-time in Cup. So Gio Ruggiero comes home in third, earns 40 points. Ben Rhodes comes back from his fuel mileage gaffe to finish fourth, led the most laps on the day with 70. And you had Corey Heim in fifth. Then Chandler Smith, even after his penalty, comes back to finish sixth. Then Jake Garcia, John Nemechek, Ricky Stenhouse Jr., and Justin Haley round out the top 10. We had 6 trucks that ended up out of the race, 4 due to, it looks like, mechanical issues. And then, of course, Cole Butcher and Dawson Sutton due to the crash on lap 101. And the point standings after 2 races, Chandler Smith continues to lead the way at 103 points, and then Gio Ruggiero currently running second. He's 28 points back, but 1 win can change that in a hurry. But like I said, it's going to take a few races for everything to kind of shake out and see who the contenders are. So even after 2 races, I would take this with a grain of salt right now. So we really should come back to this after like race 4 or 5, and we'll start to see who the contenders are as we get deeper into this season. As for my final rating for the Freight Racing 208 at Echo Park Speedway, I mean, like I said, this was a solid race. Way too many single file bullshit. But when they finally actually got to racing, it was actually pretty good racing. Only 1 caution, you know. I thought it was okay. You know, Nothing more, nothing less. So I'm going to give it a solid 6 out of the 10. 6 out of 10. I mean, it was the weakest race of the weekend, but I mean, that just shows you how good O'Reilly's and Cup was. So I think 6 is a fair number because I mean, like I said, the single file shit was boring as hell. Didn't like it, but when they did get to racing, it was good racing. So there you go. Anyways, that's going to do it for this Craftsman Truck Series review. It's a bit of a long one, but I had a lot of shit to talk about beforehand, and of course the dumb shit with the fan base over this race being cut short by 9 laps. You know, there's a lot to talk about today from all 3 races. So there's that. That's going to do it for this review. As for the other 2 reviews that we're going to have today, they're going to kind of be like 2 hours apart. This review started at 5 p.m. Eastern. So I'm going to take a little break, and we'll start the O'Reilly Series review at 7 p.m. Eastern. And then we'll do the Cup Series review at 9 p.m. Eastern today. So there you go. All 3 reviews today. I was going to combine them all into one yesterday, but that would have taken for freaking ever, and I was exhausted. So I said, screw it, I'll just do it on a Monday. You know, so there you go. The first review of today is done, and with my brand new camera, I'm glad it came today. It actually came today. So I was like, yeah, cool, I'll get to test it out, and I like it. I actually like it. And I guess according to Marcus, the sound quality of the microphone is pretty good, so cool beans. Maybe now I'll get to record some other videos with this camera, and like because I want to get back into doing tornado tails, and there's a couple other things I want to do. So hey, there we go, yay for quality content. Anyway, that's gonna do it for this review. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you again at 7 p.m. Eastern, which is about an hour and 15 minutes from now. I'm going to take a little break, use the bathroom, and all that good stuff, and then we'll come back here and do the O'Reilly Series race. So thank you very much for watching, and until next time, which is 75 minutes from now, this is the PackerMan signing out. See you later. In about 75 minutes.